presenting your host for the Racecoin podcast, Jay.
What's going on, my Racecoin fans? I'm here with Mark, a professional driver, and it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Hi, guys.
So, you grew up in Russia, and that country is full of, people growing up playing football and ice hockey. So, how did you get into motorsport?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Russian people love football, hockey, all this stuff, but they really too far from motorsports. And for me, it was I was lucky to grow up in a family who really close to cars, motorcycles, and other vehicles. So when I was 8, I think I started my go-kart career with father. And yeah, he helped me a lot. He always be with me all the years, and for sure, when I get older and older, my dream was become a F1 driver for sure, like everyone have.
Yeah.
And yeah, and of course in Russia, in a place where I live, it's Vladivostok. It's far east of Russia, so it's really close to Japan. And it's far from Moscow, and it's center of Russia where all lives going. So, and for me, it was really challenging to racing, because we have only one track, go-kart track, no proper race car tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it doesn't work for me good, because when I was, I think, 20 years old, I understand it's just I stay in one place, and have no chance to grow up. And of course, GT Academy give me a big opportunity to grow up like a professional driver. And I say thank you to GT Academy and for Darren Cox as well, because they doing a crazy job to help people to get into motorsports, to try everything, to try yourself like a person, your personality, and you get better and better like a person. It's not just driving a race car. It's much more than this.
So let's talk about how you even got in touch with them, because obviously you're in an environment where there's no tracks nearby, there's no sponsors just waiting around the corner for you. So how does someone like you get into, in touch with the people who can actually grow you as a person, as an individual?
Like I said, I grew up with a father, and he was my sponsor. Yeah, like everyone have in the start of each careers. But then it's so hard to get into high level in our country. So today, all young drivers who have really good potential in speed and have good budget, they go somewhere around Europe, or people who lives in my area, they trying to go Japan or maybe
America.
Australia, maybe America, but mostly, of course, Japan. And in Japan, you can see it's high-level racing too. It's very competitive today, and especially in go-karts, it's really hard to get in a top position. So for me, I grew in a family with not so much big budget, unfortunately, and we only did our local championship, and I won everything possible here in my area, in go-karts, I mean. So yeah, when I won GT Academy, I remember my first day in Silverstone in a GTR car around Silverstone. I was really extremely happy just to drive on a so big circuit. For my vision, when you drive in go-kart tracks, it's narrow, of course, it's not so big wide track. When you drive in a proper race car track, it's absolutely different. You feel speed, you feel potential, how it can go, where you can go wider, and it's an incredible feeling.
Yeah, I mean, you were one of the first Russians in the LMP1, and congratulations for that. So what was that journey like?
Yeah, thank you. It's, for me, I really didn't expect that I can do it, like be in a LMP1 team. Was enjoying. I was really enjoying this trip, and for me, I think most of all, I enjoy it driving alongside with some top drivers because I can learn a lot of new things and learn more information from them. Like Marc Genet, he is a really professional. He's in F1 testing Formula Ferraris always, so he have crazy big baggage of knowledge, and work with him just incredible. And I'm lucky just because of him, because it was his decision to little bit back up in a race car, and I take his seat. So yeah, I really, it's such a shame the project was closed, because it was interesting to work on this car, but we understood almost impossible to do this car very fast in so quick time, like 1 year. It was almost impossible to do it. But yeah, it was great experience for me, for sure.
So you've obviously been with quite a few different teams across time, and how much of a difference does that make to your ability to race?
It's a funny question because yeah, it's true. I've been with French team, ARC Racing, also with of course English RJN and Griff's Motorsport, with factory Japan team Nismo, and with American it's when we working with LMP1 project. So yeah, they all different, and work with them absolutely different in everything. So I think English people, yeah, they really close to Russian in some way of working, and I really enjoy work with English people. So usually some Japanese team is completely different. I think they, what the word, responsibility, have very responsible, yeah. And but you never know the emotions and attitudes towards to you, but they work like from every what they need, they do it exactly, and it's cool to work with them as well. US people, I think, very positive, and when in very difficult situation, it was great to work also because they taken everything to do the best result they can do it. So yeah, and working with French team, I think it's, for me it was hardest, because hard to find a connection between. My English is bad, but there some guys have much worse English, and connection was really bad in the team. So for sure, if you want to be in a professional French team, you need to know French language. In other words, it will be hard to you.
I mean, it sounds like you've picked up some important positive information and some nuggets from different places in the world that you've raced, and kind of
Yes.
what's good about different parts of the world, and amalgamated it into your racing. But how does that really translate to the way you race? So, if there are people in Japan who are very responsible, and they're if they say they're going to do something, they do it. How does that affect your ability to race versus getting along with British people, for example, compared to your communication isn't as good with French people? So then, does that affect your ability to race, and what kind of impact does it have on the track?
Yes, I think you have some difference in your feeling when you racing with Japanese people, because you can see how they work on a car, how they prepare everything, and they give everything of spirit of each mechanics in this car, and you feel it. It's like a big family. And when you're in a car, you're trying to give exactly the same. You're trying to give everything of you have to this. And especially when I drove with some British team, with Greaves especially, it's like big family, and you feel it. You work together, you lose together, you exactly feel this like a family. And for me, I think working with British guys, it's the best I have.
So what is your dream when it comes to racing? You know, you've had the opportunity to race in different countries, in different places, in different championships even. So where does your, now that you're obviously much more mature and older, and, you know, you're no longer just thinking Formula One is the only way, what is your dream when it comes to racing?
It's hard to say, because when I was, I said young, I dream about some Formula One career or some stuff like this, but I have no idea how it works. But when I get older and older, I get into professional motorsport. I started to understand how it works with marketing and all those stuff, because racing today, it's all about marketing. It's really hard to find good series where you can see all just professionals who driving like crazy, and teams don't worry about money and all this. It's hard, because today you understand, if you want to be successful, you need to have big package with you. It's not only just be fast on the track, it's much more. And for me, some kind of life like this sometimes feels strange, because I want to be a really good driver, and I do it for myself, like preparing to be a professional driver, be the fastest. But when something, how to say, touch about media stuff, about some promotion and working outside of the car, I feel a little bit strange myself, because I feel it's not completely mine sphere of
It's not pure racing, and I definitely feel like there's a lot of lessons that you've learned along the way now. Now that you know, you see that it's not just about racing. So, what would you like to share with others that they would really realize that there are, what other aspects of racing should people consider or train themselves in, or work on, if they are to be starting out, let's say 10 years, you know, prior to where you are today?
In my opinion, if you really love motorsport, you should try it. Just it doesn't matter in what level of racing. If you want to, you can try in a rental go-kart, and you will see if it suits you or not. In my opinion, if it does not turn out to be a pro, you feel like it's something unforgettable, like experience, like some stuff, like you speak with other guys on the same, and you feel like all, how to say, it's kind of sorry, forget one word. It's people get together, and it's very important.
Like you get
community. You have community. With same interest, with same
passion,
passion, and So if you want, you should absolutely to try it. And for I still racing. I'm not a professional, but I love sometimes racing in go-karts. And for me, it's very cool, because I feel really similar some feelings in the car and go-karts, and I feel it's really close to really high level racing. So for me, it's important. I still doing it, and working with some children as well, like a coach. and still in racing, but in other way, I'm doing it in other way.
So as a coach, when you're actually teaching them, what kind of lessons are you trying to bestow upon them?
Of course, first of all, I'm working with really young drivers, like from 6 till 10 years old. And for them, very important just to know some basic, like how to drive correctly, driving lines, braking, some acceleration tips. So this is important for them. But when they will be a little bit older, for sure, I give more lessons about how professional sport works. And then with parents, for sure, they should decide where they should go. Maybe they should change sports and go, I don't know, ice hockey or football. But on this moment, of course, I try to involve them absolutely full in karting, because it's hard. It's hard because professional go-kart is very fast, and for children as well, and need lots of energy from them, and also be fit enough. And we work on that.
So this message that you're trying to help spread about, teaching the kids and giving back as well. Was that something that was inspired by your father as well? Because I mean, he seems to be someone who's really guided you from when you were younger to get into the sport.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's like this because he grow me like a driver, and after that, when I was already maybe 20 years old, he started work with other young drivers, so help them to be professional, like in the go-karts. So now he stopped it, and I trying to continue his business. It's business for sure. It's kind of business, and sometimes he helped me as well with working together. So yeah, it's like our business, and we work with many drivers now.
So as a last message, what would you like to leave to the fans who are listening about how they should approach racing and what they can learn from your journey?
Oh, today we can see lots of programs, about sim racing. I want to say more because you can see now some, especially Gran Turismo as well, have Gran Turismo sports program. And I just can say one thing: you should try everything you can find. Any one opportunity, you should try it if you want to try to be in a racing. And doesn't matter if it's sim racing or rental cars or maybe some track days. You need just driving and driving and driving. It's more important for you in the future if you have a chance to show yourself. It helps you very well. Just need driving everything possible. That's true.
Take every opportunity,
take every opportunity. It doesn't matter if it's sim racing or other stuff. Doesn't matter. Need just driving. And I said this for my drivers because we spending lots of time on tracks every day. It helps because some teams try and just to work with it with engines or chassis, but for my opinion, everything in your head. And if you work with yourself like a professional, it helps much more than working with engines, with some setups of chassis and all this stuff. It's my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think the message is clear. And thank you for being on the RaceCoin podcast, Mark. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hope to see you soon.